What's up, all my musician friends out there? It's your boy DJ Seg1. Just wanted to show y'all something real quick. So y'all saw the video I did with the Icy Dock, right? And you saw I had the 4 drives hooked up or whatever the case be. So basically, a lot of times what happens is, regardless if it's you're still using a mechanical drive or you're using a newer SSD solid state drive, you're still going to get bottleneck issues. Bottlenecking means that the speed of the transfer, as you see, is just going down, and then it fluctuates back up, and then it'll go down again. Especially since I'm transferring all of my contact files or anything Native Instruments into my VST drive, as you see it right there. So the total amount was like 43 gigs or whatever the case be. And basically the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm pretty much never going to buy contact. This is whatever I get for free from them, Native Instruments or whatever type of Rector type user library I might come across that's free. I'm not buying anything contact or Native Instruments unless it's like, I get some type of crazy voucher to get a crazy type deal. That's just how I do. I'm frugal when it comes to all this stuff. So the cheaper it is for me, the better it is. Why? Because we broke musicians out here, so we got to learn how to get by. But basically, again, it doesn't matter if it's an SSD or a mechanical drive. You're still going to have bottleneck issues because this thing is connected to a SATA cable. Repeat, it's connected to a SATA cable still. So the only way to completely damn near eliminate the bottleneck issues is to go with a motherboard that has an M.2 slot on it. So that way you could do, and I don't think they have any motherboards out here that is similar to what I did with the Icy Dock, where you got 4 slots on a motherboard that is all M.2. I could be wrong. I haven't looked into it personally myself. But if you were to, get a new computer and, you're building a new studio rig, get something, or motherboard rather, that has an M.2 slot on it and start, utilizing the M.2 SSDs because it's the same thing as flash memory that we know, but it connects straight into the motherboard. See, when you're dealing with the SATA cable, see how hard that bottleneck down, how it just dropped like that, and now it's raising itself back up. But, when you're dealing with, again, a SATA cable or anything that's cable connection, it has to go from one source, meaning one drive or flash drive or whatever it is, travel down the line of the cable, the SATA cable, into the next drive. So, there's a lot of computing going on there. So, as you see with the newer technology coming out, you can eliminate a lot of these issues by just, going with an M.2 or at least getting an SSD that has DRAM cache in it, which is pretty much the only ones on the market that are built like for sure with DRAM cache in it. It's the Samsung ones. And you know how expensive those things are. They're definitely not cheap. To get like a terabyte, it's like $150. And that's, I ain't even gonna say that's regular price. It's like 125, 130 or something like that. You catch it on the sale, the least you'll get paid for it is still like 110 after taxes, man. So that's like $20 off they'll give you or whatever the case be. So, if you're dealing with these old computers that got like quad core, you know what I mean, dual core, it's time to get that stuff up because this rig right here, Big Baby, HPZ, I know you can't see, it's dark up in here right now, you know what I mean? The Big Z. This is a hex core computer, a dual hex core, and even hex core technology is old now. It's really, really old because it's over 10 years old. So within the next, I think, maybe 2 years from now, maybe 2.5 years because it's already almost the end of the year already, or we halfway through the end of the year. I think 2.5 years from now, the end of life, the EOL or whatever, for the HPZ is going to be over with. So within the next 2 years, even though I just fully upgraded this thing, maxed out the CPUs, I got the highest CPUs it could take. I got 96 gigs of RAM in here, SSD, you know what I mean? All that, and it still has its issues running slow. But it's not from this, though. This is coming from the Icy Dock, specifically what you're looking at right here on the screen. And again, that's because I decided to go mechanical drive to house all the VSTs, the sample libraries, yada, 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 because you can defrag a mechanical drive. SSDs, not so much. And the whole purpose, again, for you to defrag a mechanical drive is because, the whole point of defragmentation is to organize your drive. So unfortunately, for whatever the reason, you can't do that with the SSD flash memory. I don't know why. I never really looked into it, but So, you can't do that or whatever the case may be with, flash memory or any type of SSD. Is not good to defrag it. The computer tells you that and you read that on the blogs or whatever, but I'm not sure what the reason for that is. It may be due to the cells that are inside of the SSD, the cell technology or whatever, versus a disk, which is mechanical and can be written to. So basically, in the long run, what I am going to do, because I do see the SSD prices, they are at a standard now of what a mechanical is for the most part. So I'm pretty much going to be swapping out these Western Digital mechanicals for some SSD drives, hopefully with some DRAM cache in it. But before I do that, I still said I'm going to do one thing, which is go and maybe look into the Intel Optane chips, which were built for mechanical drives from my information that I read up on it. It's built for mechanical drives. So the Intel Optane chips is like RAM or D-cache RAM, which is in SSD drives now, but for mechanical drives. But I'm not sure, now that I even think about it, I want to give up a PCIe slot to go that route. Because if I were to do that, then I might as well go get a PCIe M.2 card and just have the fastest speed that I could have available for this computer or whatever the case be. But that's something to even think about, because like I said, the EOL for the HPZ first generations, I think it's going to be over with in maybe about 2.5 more years. So I'm going to be upgrading within the next 2.5 years for sure. You know what I mean? But we'll see. But so far, the Icy Dock method, again, check the video on the Icy Dock. It's working, man. Like I said, the only reason why I'm doing the transfer now and getting rid of the contact drive is because, like I said, I rarely even use Native Instruments stuff, even though I got a lot of the free stuff and then, got those particular VSTs that they gave away during certain things, or if you bought this, you got that for free. So I took advantage of that stuff, and anything that got to do with like Rector, I'm definitely on it. But I'm pretty much going to erase everything that's Native Instruments and use this drive as my Cubase recording drive for right now until I'm able to, switch everything over SSD. Or, again, I might just leave it like this until the EOL pops up. And that'll be when Windows stops supporting this thing. But so far, Microsoft is definitely supporting the first generation HPZs. So if you're looking to get a computer to do some beats, or even just to do some graphic designs or some movie editing or something, definitely holler at the HPZ first generation series, which is Z200, 400, 600, and 800. So, and definitely get something, if you're doing like designs and like creative type stuff, definitely get a 600 and better. And make sure it's a second generation, meaning the motherboard, but it's still a first gen Z. The second generation motherboards can house the Hex CPU processors. So that's very important and can go up anywhere. The Z600 can hold 96 gigs of RAM, and the Z800 can hold like 380 something gigs of RAM, because it's like 8 slots times 32. So yeah, there you go. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much it, man. I just wanted to show y'all this real quick. I ain't gonna hold too much of your time. I don't want this video to go over 10 and 11 minutes or whatever the case be. But again, if you're planning on upgrading, getting a new computer or whatever the case be, try to get something with an M.2 slot in it. That's your best option, man. M.2 slot. So that way all information, whether it be recording, creating, processing, rendering, can come straight from the motherboard and whatever PCIe slots that is utilizing. So, stay up on your technology, man. It's your boy Sag One. I'm out.